Hi Aries, welcome to Air to Earth Tarot. I'm Ange, and we are going to be reading for the month of December 2020. If you have not checked out the video I put out on reading a little bit differently and why, check that out because it'll explain a little bit of what's going on and why. But all in all, I just want the way that I read to be as inclusive as possible, kind of demystifying some of the things that are said and done, and making sure that everyone realizes that all answers are within you. And so anything that we use, religion, prayer, tarot, going to church or synagogue or whatever it is that you do that helps you explore your spirituality, and being a virtuous person, then good. Then good. And so I think it would be great if these things were available to everyone looking, which we all are at some point in time, right? So that's really what changing up the way that I read is all about. So I really hope you enjoy, Aries. And without further ado, we're going to get into it. Any information on myself, on Air to Earth, and what we got going on will be in the description box below. You can check us out on Instagram for any information, podcast episodes, all that good stuff, inspiration. Will be on the Instagram, and then any information on decks that I'm using will be in the description box below as well. So, what do we have for Aries for December 2020? We're going to pull 2 cards on love, 2 cards on career, and 2 cards on personal development. So in love, we got the Strength card and the 6 of Cups. In career, what do we have for career for Aries? You're going to make me... Career, we got the King of Cups. And the 2 of Swords. And in personal development for Aries, December 2020, what do we got? What do we have for Aries in personal development? Thank you. Page of Wands in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, Aries, let's get into it. In love, we got the Strength card and the 6 of Cups. I'll show you one at a time since I can't tilt my screen anymore. The Strength card. So, Strength card is all about compassion, self-mastery, self-care, self-appreciation, and being able to draw your strength from that, from character, basically, is what I would sum it up as. So, and then it's coupled with the 6 of Cups, which in this particular deck, if you look at the imagery, you know, it's, I have issues with this word, camaraderie, you know the word I'm trying to say, togetherness. You know, being a part of a tribe, feeling that oneness and togetherness at the same time, like the balance between those 2 things. Traditionally, the 6 of Cups talks about just an innocence to love, you know, an evenness, a balanced kind of love that doesn't have any strings attached. that allows you to feel whole and a part of something bigger than you at the same time. So I would ask you, Aries, if that is where you find yourself in your love relationships, with your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, colleagues, if you care about your colleagues in that way, family, friends. What have you done to contribute to it? How do you contribute to that balance? And especially with Thanksgiving rolling around, it would be nice, I think, for you to kind of take a moment to reflect on what everyone in your tribe, your circle, your family brings to the table, and what you appreciate about them, what you appreciate about yourself. And like I said, just that balance of like oneness and togetherness can be really, really nice. So I'm just getting like Thanksgiving vibes there. So maybe take some time, Aries, like I said, whatever your traditions are around Thanksgiving. Maybe take some time and reflect on that. Yeah, we'll see when we clarify, but it would be nice also, I think, to share. I'm a sharer though, so, but the reflection is often enough. But yeah, just taking a moment to think about yourself in as a part of a unit, and that kind of oxymoron, oneness and togetherness at the same time, and appreciating both. In career, we have the King of Cups. I'll light some more incense. We have the King of Cups, which is, again, mastery. There's a certain energy of mastering your emotions. Now, of course, we never really master anything as long as we're alive, but we do get better if we want to. So I would ask you, Aries, when it comes to work, how have you been controlling your emotions when it comes to difficult situations at work? The reason I say that is because it's coupled with the Two of Swords, which can be about decision making, being at odds, fighting, seeing both sides of an argument, two different points of view, that kind of thing, conflict. So I would ask you to ask yourself, Aries, how are you handling difficulties at work? And are you growing in that area? And what needs to happen in order for you to grow in that area of handling difficult situations at work, of negotiating, of being compassionate and empathetic toward other people's points of view, and being solution oriented. So, and there's a certain creativity that comes with that, Aries. I will mention that. So a lot of times if we're goal oriented, that means we've already decided what we want the outcome to be, and we're doing everything we can to get to that outcome. The King of Cups is not handling things in that way. The King of Cups is understanding your point of view, understanding another's point of view, and then allowing for that dance, first of all, to not become lethal, and second, for it to create a solution that works for both people. And that is compromise. The scary part is that the outcome doesn't exist until you kind of contend with someone with a different point of view. So that's why people tend to be more goal-oriented, because everything is known. But that can cause more conflict. So again, I would just ask you to ask yourself, Aries, how have you grown in that area? And if you're not happy with how you've grown in that area, how can you continue to grow in that area? of handling difficulty at work, handling opposition at work as well, and managing your emotions. And in personal development, we have 2 pages in reverse. So the page of Wands in reverse came out, which it can be about, especially together. So I'll show you together. This is someone who has tons of ideas, tons of passion and drive, but maybe lacks the practicality in terms of their mindset, but also lacks the resources to make their ideas come to fruition. So if you popped into your head when I gave that description, then reflect on that. Reflect on how you can kind of even yourself out, balance that passion out. You can't get anywhere on just passion alone. So how can you couple that with resources, with connections, networking, that kind of thing, like to make it more practical, to make it more whatever it is that you're dreaming up, or feel really passionate about. Find a way to make it real, so to speak. We'll see more about that when we clarify. So let me just jump right into the clarification. But yeah, this is someone who has tons of potential and is having trouble realizing that potential, which is frustrating. Believe me, I know. But sometimes you gotta just do it. Like I said, let me clarify. So what do we have for Aries? Clarify the cards on the board, please. Let's clarify. Aries, December 2020. Can we clarify the Strength card and the Six of Cups, please? Spirits, guides, angels, ancestors. The Four of Swords in reverse. That's funny. The King of Cups and the Two of Swords in career. Can we clarify the King of Cups? Thank you. The World in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And the Page of Wands and Pentacles in reverse. Thank you. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Okie doke. So, for your love situation, clarifying the Strength card and the Six of Cups, we got the Four of Swords in reverse, but I'll show you upright. So the Four of Swords is like restoration, rest, sleep, a state of rest, right? So in the reverse, remember, I laughed because remember how I mentioned that I would say that you should go a step further from reflection and actually act on your reflections. And I'm like, I'll wait and see if what the clarifier is. So the Four of Swords in reverse talks about action, talks about not just reflecting, not just being in a reflective state, but resting to eventually bring your findings outward, if that makes sense. So, yeah, just in terms of reflecting, Aries, on your self-worth and how you fit into your tribe and what you bring to your tribe, and that balance of self-actualization in the midst of being a part of a tribe, a tribal effort of some sort. That could just be your family, but it could also be a group of friends, like-minded individuals, where you form some sort of unit. Reflect on that, and then I'm going to add, let them know, let those people who are a part of your tribe know what they mean to you, what the reflections are that you've come up with, whatever they may be. But I would say that there's an action component that's a part of this. So I would challenge you to act when you're ready, of course, Aries. In the career situation, dealing with that, how you react to issues at work or pushback at work or conflict at work, we got the World in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. I'll show you them both upright, but the World did come out in reverse. The World is here, and this is the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, this can be like I would challenge you to ask yourself how you may shoot yourself in the foot sometimes. How you may, when you're faced with conflict, be honest about the fact that sometimes you don't want a solution. Like that, like I was talking about earlier, like sometimes we just want the goal to be met as opposed to an actual solution, and that gets in the way of compromise. So I would challenge you, Aries, to really think about that and really be honest with what could be just a lack of maturity in handling your emotions. And we all do that. Sometimes we just want our way. Simple. But the insistence on getting our way many, many times does more damage than we realize to, in this situation, work situations, work relationships. So just try to think about that and see if you can improve in some small way with handling your emotions well, better. What that might look like for you, Aries. And in personal development, the 2 pages came out, and it's clarified by the 7 of Pentacles. So I would challenge you to look, it's going to sound cliche, but look at the bright side of what you're working on internally. So if you are having trouble bringing something to fruition, okay, it's nothing to get all up in arms about. It's work with what you have. Take stock of what you actually have and work with that. Try not to be too dreamy, especially if you're trying to start something, if you're trying to bring something to the physical realm, if you're trying to manifest something, Aries, work with what you have. Start with what you have. I'm doing this video on a tablet that I've, acquired, I don't know, when I was like 10 years ago. Start with what you have. It's your spirit will carry the rest through. And that depends on what we're talking about, of course. Aries, you know what comes to mind when I say these things. So start with what you have. Work with what you have. All right, and let's close it out with an animal oracle card for Aries for the month of December. What do we have? All right. You're a lot tougher than you think you are, the Wolverine. Self-explanatory, right? So, Aries, take the time to ponder what I've given you. Think about it, or what the cards have given you. Think about these things, reflect on these things, and, remember that you're tough. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, Aries. Excited for you for the month of December, and I will see you next month. Bye-bye.